Hey, what's going on? I'm BoneSickle, and here's a video of RJBrian and myself successfully farming the Atlantis Vulcan mod, which is the stance mod for the recently added Ninkondi, which are the first Nunchaku added to the game. The mod drops from the guardsmen, which are unique to Ceres, and all of this information being subject to change at some point after the posting of this video, of course. But for now, we chose to go to Varro, which is a defense, and you can see that we were both using Hydroids with the Pilfering Swarm Augment mod equipped, which is supposed to guarantee you a double loot drop from enemies that are killed by your tentacle swarm. So obviously the plan was to try and kill each guardsman with Hydroid's ultimate to increase our chances of the desired mod dropping. So you may notice me just walking around a lot and not actually attacking enemies, because I am trying to lure them into my swarming tentacles to be murdered and therefore pilfered by them. You may also notice that I was rocking the Diriga Sentinel. Not really sure how that should be pronounced, but that was purely for mastery points, which is why I was dropping shield restores, simply to give my completely undermodded mastery fodder Sentinel enough overshield to not die on me. It's kind of hard to say how many times we farmed this mission before finally hitting pay dirt, but I think I was on the border of giving up and checking the trade chat for someone selling it at a decent price, but thankfully it didn't come to that. As you can see, we were simply playing to wave 10 though, and then leaving and reloading the mission, since the ratio of guardsmen to all other enemies seemed to drop dramatically after that point. But since we lucked up and got what we came for within the first set of waves here, we're just going to evac at wave 5 with grins on our faces. So as you can see, we're just in wave 2 here, and I'm actually about to pick up the mod. And normally I would be using my carrier prime to vacuum up everything, but on here I just have to run over everything. I did have animal instinct equipped on the Diriga so that I can see mods glowing, and here's one that just dropped, and that's it, Atlantis Vulcan. So thrilled to have finally gotten that. Now we know we can. Ceres is also a great place to get Orc cells if you happen to need those, and the prosecutors still drop Greek beacons, which used to be necessary to build the key to fight Vahek, which is the boss that drops the pieces for the Hydroid Warframe, which you see me using. But now of course you can simply play that boss fight anytime you want. I believe you just have to be mastery rank 5 to do so, and don't mean to insult the knowledge of any viewers who are aware of all these things. I merely try to explain things very simply for anyone who may be watching that is new to the game or is just unaware of certain things that the game itself doesn't explain. And of course I continue to point out that they change so much information, and so much stuff just becomes outdated, so there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot to keep up with if you really want to get deep into the game. Speaking of the prosecutor beacons, I'm still anxious to see what they eventually decide to use them for, especially since, as I mentioned, they still drop, causing your collection to continue to grow. And not really sure what they're going to end up doing with that, because they did mention that a long time ago that they were actually going to do. So wave 3 is done, and not really sure how to explain why I did this, but at the end of wave 3, for some dumb reason, I decided to play chicken with the cable car that the cryopod is on, and it carelessly shoved me into the floor and I couldn't get out. So this is an excellent opportunity to show you how to free yourself from these situations. In case you don't already know, you simply pull up the chat and type /unstuck. You can see me trying everything but that for a few moments here and failing miserably to get out of this ramp. So eventually just get tired of watching these other mods drop and being unable to get to them. So pause the game, pull this up, and you cannot see me typing it in because of the way this footage is recorded, but you can see the prompt pop up asking me if I'm sure that I want to use /unstuck, so you can see exactly what you need to type. Doing that will magically unstick you if you are trapped partially in the wall or floor or outside of the map, which unfortunately happens sometimes. Just try not to play chicken with the cryopod cable cars. So I'm going to go ahead and edit to the end of the video because, as I said, we left at wave 5 since we got what we came for. So good luck collecting the Atlantis Vulcan for yourself if you happen to be farming it legit on your own. Thanks for watching the video.